Peace and all good. I'm Roy Arasan, a temporary professed brother from the Order of Friars Minor Capuchins, Philippine Province. Today, October 4, is a very significant day for all of us Franciscans, for we are celebrating the solemnity of our holy founder, Saint Francis of Assisi. Who doesn't know him, by the way? Hundreds of biographies have been written about him, for he really gave a strong impact on the Christian life during his time and even today. I will not share much of its detail, but in summary, we could see that his life was patterned after Christ. Following God's will preoccupied his heart and mind, as it clearly reflected in today's readings, taken from the Franciscan lectionary on his solemnity. In the first reading from the book of Sirach, it is mentioned that God's house was renovated, the temple was reinforced. As I reflect on this line, it obviously parallels to that part in the life of the saint when he heard the voice of Christ, telling him to repair his house, which as he could see was falling into ruin. Though Saint Francis interpreted the command literally at first, as he began to rebuild by hands the church of San Damiano, it soon became evident that he, and later on, with early followers, were to renew the church through deep devotion to the gospel living through radical poverty. In the second reading, taken from the letter to the Galatians, we could hear St. Paul that he claims to bear the brand marks of Jesus in his body. We don't know actually whether St. Paul's visible stigmata or wounds in his body were given to him directly by Jesus, or perhaps they were given to him by those persecutors as he preached about Jesus. But one thing is for sure, those marks were signs that he is totally owned by Christ, very similar to the case of Saint Francis. In the history of the Christian Church, Saint Francis of Assisi was the first recorded stigmatic. On year 1224, he was praying on the mountain of Laverna. While seeing a vision of a crucified seraph, the marks of Christ's wounds were impressed then on his feet, hands, and the rest of his flesh. It often bled and caused much pain for him. As a follower of Christ, I am also experiencing personal pains in life. It might not be as painful as having a stigmata, but it is the same pains that challenge me to grow in faith, even how little it might be. It is the same pains like yours, such as the pains and struggles to meet my daily needs in times of pandemic, the hardships of studying online, the pains of being misunderstood, and so on. These might sound so simple, but again, it could lead to sanctification as we continue to place our trust in God in our day-to-day living. A blessed Sunday to all of you, and happy solemnity. May Saint Francis inspire us to become courageous witnesses as we remain steadfast in faith. Saint Francis of Assisi, pray for us.